Hello and welcome back to another little update video. Many people have asked me, that I haven't updated any videos about the Pi FV1 I started to restore in last spring. Kind of drawn a bit of a blank. This is the television we're looking at now on this one. It's got quite a few major problems I've found, and I'm looking into that and see whether it's viable to take it onwards. I think it will be. And I think I've said before, I don't do a lot of television restorations in the winter. It's dark these days. I need good light to see what I'm doing, and I don't always necessarily heat my workshop in the colder winter. Everything's covered up and wrapped up, and just sort of minimal heating on in here. So I hope probably to get back onto that one and have a look and see if I can really once and for all finally sort it out, or decide, as I said, whether it's worth continuing on with. So that's that one, and hopefully I will post some more updates on that one in future, hopefully. But I had also been doing a set last year, which I kind of picked the wrong one to film, really. Because this set we're looking at now is a Murphy V150 television that dates from 1949. And people that come back and watch my videos will probably know already that I really love more the history side of these sets and televisions. And this is a very special television for me, because this was the very first television to come into our village. When Sutton Coldfield transmitter opened in December 1949, this television was purchased, and as I say, it was the very first television in our village. In those days the village was quite small, and it wasn't in one of the grandiose houses in the village either. It was in a small semi-detached cottage in a good location, because it was right up high up on the top of the valley in the village. And I'll put some pictures of nearby. I'm not going to put it, obviously, a picture. The cottage still exists, but it would be a bit naughty of me to put somebody's house up on YouTube, because the gentleman that owned this hasn't lived in that house since the 1970s. But I'll put some views across the open countryside, because you can see it's on the top of the valley. And in the Second World War, up just a little bit below that point, there was an aircraft observation point. The local observer corps had a lookout post up there for monitoring aircraft, and it's a good view. And a few years ago, I think most of them have gone now, but a few years ago, on a clear night, in really good weather, you could even see rugby aerials just this side of Rugby, which we must be guessing now a good 30 miles away from that, probably, or certainly perhaps as a crow flies 20-25 miles if you went in a direct line, possibly. And you could see the rugby aerials, and so obviously if you draw a line on a map, Sutton Coldfield is just a bit further north than that. I still think this set was on the edge of its limits in those days, but the chap that had it used to say that he got a very good picture on it. And interestingly enough, this set obviously was still, he was a bit of a local. He repaired bicycles, he repaired radios, and so obviously I think he kept this set going for many years himself. And in 1953, at the Queen's Coronation, the set was placed in the old village school, and local village residents were asked to come and watch the coronation on this set. So it's a real historic television in my view. Sadly, it wasn't found in a good condition. It had sat, would you believe, in an air raid shelter, which was damp, in somebody's garden for the last 40 plus years. And obviously had suffered tremendously. So it's been a real labour of love, this has. And as I say, I've put a lot of time and effort into this, and even had certain parts rewound, and but it's slowly getting there. It's still not perfect by a long way, but I'm hoping I'm going to switch it on and at least give you a little chance, show you it working, to say that it still works after, what is that, 73 years. It's a single channel. It's just a one channel. You can't tune it to any of the other early BBC channels, because obviously in those days there was only the BBC television service. It's a Birmingham set, Channel 4, and so obviously I think it's even got the preamp on it as well, because you know it would need that. You know, we are, or were here, a good way from Sutton Coldfield. We're right on the fringe, really. Although, as I say, we did used to, in certain parts of the village, we did used to get good pictures from there. So without further ado, and me rambling on about it, I'll sort it out and try and get one or two pictures or video of showing the actual thing coming to life. Right, we'll go and have a switch on and see if we get a picture. We might not. I'll try for some sound, but obviously my apologies if the sound is missing when you look at this video with the test card. Obviously, if YouTube have decided that this is copyright infringement, I shall take the sound off. So anyway, without further ado, we'll see if it will come back on. This is only just, you know, been working again, so it's early days, as I say. Well, there we go. Kind of success. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know what the camera will pick this up like. Televisions are funny things to just yeah, that's pretty good, really. I'm quite pleased with that. It's early days, as I say. To think that set is 73 years old, and like I said, it stood, would you believe, in a damp air raid shelter for 40 years, which sadly didn't do it any favours at all. Slight hiccup there, as you can see. Like I say, it's televisions. It's a lot of work. and they do, you know, they do take a fair while to get warm up and up running. And slight sound problem I think I've got there. The sound is a bit not that clear, but we can soon have a look at that. So this is the Murphy, let's take you in a bit, this is the Murphy V150, and this is a Birmingham set from around 1949 or thereabouts, 1949-50. So I'm delighted with that. It's to me, as I say, it's all about the history of these sets. You know, as I say, it's great to get them working. If you don't, well, it's not the end of the world, but it's the fact that it must have been amazing when this set came to the village. You know, being the first television in the village. You know, the person that gave this set did say that, you know, everybody from the village at some point came into this little cottage sitting room just to see this set working, because the vast majority of people in our rural little village had never seen television. I nearly said colour television, but that's another that was another at least 20 years away. So there we go, it's working very well at the moment. It might not stop that way, but hopefully you can see that and get some idea, as I say. In fact, it's a very good sharp picture. I'm delighted with the picture. The picture has, as sometimes these will do, the picture has improved the more I've, you know, the 2 or 3 times it's been on now. And you can perhaps hear the whistle in the background. That is the line whistle that you got with the 405 televisions. That was something, obviously it wouldn't be quite pronounced. I've got the back off the set, and if you were sitting further away from it, but you can hear a distinct line whistle with these older televisions, which is, there again, is amazing. But so there we go. It's nice to have one success. As I say, the Pi FV1. Hopefully, eventually, I'll crack that one and give you an update on that one in the near future. What I managed to do with that. But that's a cracking picture. Really pleased with that. Just a quick look inside the back to show you the back. It's, you know, I suppose it's much a conventional television of that period, really. It's got the Mazda CR cathode ray tube CRM121 in this model. It has a very strange, I believe I was told many years ago that Mazda had trouble building or constructing or manufacturing, I probably should say, a good rectifier valve for televisions, and this has got a rather strange valve. It's the U801, which is that valve, whether you'll see that valve behind there, which has a funny setup on it, and it can these early sets like this, apparently that rectifier valve didn't have a long life. If one of the resistors failed on it, it could sort of just internally kind of burn out very quickly. But the rest of it is quite conventional really, and it's cleaned up quite well, as I say, considering it sat in not a very nice environment at all really. I mean, the cabinet needs a lot more work tidying up. It's had a bit of a tidy up, but then it'll need another good tidying up, and I've had to glue parts of the cabinet back together because the damp had taken its toll on some of the glue and joints in the cabinet. But thanks for watching. Please do like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in a future video. And thanks for watching, and bye for now.